Because he had said to me when we were younger, like around 5, when I was around 5, that when our mom passed away, he just wanted to like go inside of a closet and like never come out. Or a crazier one that he wished he could just drive through a drive by a drive by and get taken out so he wouldn't have to deal with things. Um, at that point, I had believed that, it was just really difficult, um, that my mom passed away, and it was just really hard on him to not have her. I learned some things though, and I will say some of this is speculation. I don't claim to know if this is fully the truth, but the pattern of actions kind of speak for itself and make it seem like it is. So, but like I said, I don't know for sure. It is what it is. But I learned some things that before my mom, my dad was a player. Boy, oh boy, he had that light skin syndrome. Um, and don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed speaking with him on those topics. That was cool. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but because when I asked him, like, was mom his first? And he was like, no, absolutely not. And I won't, blow him up, but he told me some things. Ooh. But I asked him if if he was mom's first. And his answer, crazy. But he said no. Because my mom got, oh boy, what's that? She got taken advantage of twice by two different people in two different scenarios. And he said because of that, he wasn't her first. And I'm just like, Dad, that doesn't even count, bro. Like, that's something she wanted or made the decision to do. But okay, that tells me where your mindset is a bit. So yeah. And it's like after I knew that, and then just putting a whole bunch of things together, thinking over the years, realizing what he meant when he said, like, going to the closet or, you know, driving through a drive-by, is that, dang, she's gone. And now I have this baggage, us children, that she's the one that normally dealt with. I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to have to deal with them. It's like what he wanted to do was take my mom's life insurance money. Yeah, I mean, granted, I'm not sure, but it was we'll just say above 50,000 because I'm pretty sure I know, but I'm not gonna make up numbers, I guess. But it was about 50,000, and he wanted to just take that flex and do whatever the hell he wanted to do. But he felt like we were such bondage to him. Um, because he tried that with my first stepmom. Because we were able to buy our new house with that, her life insurance money. And I mean, granted, I was a kid. I'm just, okay, we moving? Okay, sure. I'm like, shit, I love that house. Um, yeah, but like I didn't, put any of this together at this point in time, but that's what he did when he found her. Couldn't tell you where, when, but he was flexing. He was flexing that money to her to get her. But the funny thing was, She's the one that took his money. Oh God, that is, I mean, funny. But yeah, that's what he was trying to do. But he was always just disappointed that we were there. And that's why whenever these women came, because he never wanted us. So it's like, okay, someone's here could take the place of, you know, my mother, and just like, okay, she can deal with the kids, because I don't. That's really how he must have been, because he never cared when we were going through shit at the hands of these women. It's like, oh. Never cared at all. So yeah, thankfully, going back to the story about my brother trying to get rid of my dad, thankfully he recovered. He just needs a few stitches, and he healed up well, and he was completely fine now. He just has some scars. About a year after that, after a bunch of court cases and stuff, because he got arrested and in juvenile centers, because he was 15 at the time, still a kid. My dad forgave him and was gonna, have him move back in and like come back to live with us. That's where she stepped her foot in. Just like I knew I felt that, like, at the beginning, that she wanted us out, and she put her foot all the way in there. And I was like, ha! I'm glad anyone thinks that's happening. And she was able to get one out. My brother, I do feel bad for him. It's a strange dichotomy of how I feel about that. I don't know. I really don't know, because I feel like on one hand, because since then, since the fact of the time where he could have came back home, he was around 16, maybe 17 at that point in time. Since then, now, he's been in and out of jail, homeless shelters, sometimes like got a job, sometimes got a place, lost it, back in jail, just complete instability since then. I mean, granted, I don't know what he's up to now. Don't really care, to be honest. But it was like prior to, I feel like his life could have been different if he would have came back home. But at the same time, I'm not sure, because he was the type to lash out at the situation where I was the one to sink in. And I honestly feel if he went through the things I went through in that house, and with my father just not caring, I feel like he would have lashed out again, to be honest. I just don't feel, from all I know now, I just don't see that even being a good situation. And it's funny because he always wanted to come back and live with us, and she always, obviously, hell no. Don't get me wrong, I get it. But at the same time, it's the fact that she wanted that from the beginning, more so than just safety. But hey, whatever. But yeah, it's because he always wanted to come back, but I was always thinking, like, man, you're out. That's so much better. That's such a better situation to be in. Because she learned after some years, let's say 4 years, that she couldn't get me out like she got my brother out. So what did she do instead? She isolated me from everyone I knew, or everyone. Like I said, we didn't see our family anymore. She just really made sure that I was just the worst person of all time to everyone that came around. I did no good. could never do no good. I am the villain of all time. I am the absolute worst. She made sure that that's what she said and how people saw me. And yeah, which is why I just stayed small, stayed away whenever I could. She made sure I, didn't exist in the house. It was to the point I would always be afraid to come downstairs. Yeah, whenever, like, just even back then, like, whenever I would hear the garage and know it was her coming in, I would run upstairs. To the point, like, my stepsister would be like, why you always run upstairs when she gets home? Because, of course, she didn't understand. She could do whatever. She could do no wrong. No wrong. Even though she would be doing the absolute most. So many things I would get yelled at for. No problem if she did it or whatever. Because even something simple, which was awful, hygiene. She did not like me being in the bathroom. At that point, we only had one full bath. And she did not like me being in there. I would always take too long, even when I wouldn't. No, get out. I gotta go. No. It was a constant struggle and battle, and just and the worst part was stepsister, her daughter, she could be in there 4 hours. It was fine. Nothing wrong with that. Blasting music, just taking her good old time when no one else to use the bath. Didn't matter. It was fine. Me being in there more than 5 minutes, more than 5-10 minutes, it was a problem. So I really learned. I mean, this is something my dad taught me growing up because I went to bed a lot, and it was just too difficult, much of a hassle to take a full bath every time. So it taught me how to wash up every time that happened at the sink. So I would do that because thankfully we had a half bath downstairs with a sink and a toilet. That's where I would live. In that basement. Yikes. But yeah, I would normally only shower once, maybe twice a month, because I would have to time it, and random hours, like early in the morning, or yeah, that was it, like really, really early in the morning, like 5-6 a.m. before they get up. And that was just difficult to do. And so, yeah, we didn't really shower much because it was a problem. But yet she would make fun of me because of it, or like talk bad about me because of it, despite there was a clear issue of it being a serious problem, me being in the bathroom. But yet you're going, just pout it on, I guess, Oh boy. And like, even when we moved to our new house at the time, I mean, it was better. It was a lot better because we had 2 full baths, one in their bedroom, one in the main hallway upstairs, and a half bath on the first floor. Much better. So, I did shower more often, and that was really great. Until the house decided to flood because of the main bathroom in the hallway. That was awful. That was really awful. It was raining in the basement for a while. And it needed serious work that they didn't want to pay to have done, whatever. So I couldn't use that bathroom anymore, which began the problems of showering again, because she hated me in her bedroom. She hated me in there. Oh my gosh, the hate. So the only time I could shower was when she wasn't there. That otherwise it was a lost cause. And like it was just so bad to the point that when I had a car and they opened up a new gym right in the shopping plaza by my house, I bought the gym membership just so I could shower freely. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, in my own home, with access to a shower, I felt like I needed to buy a gym membership because I felt like I didn't have access to it, really. Like, but that's my fault, for, But hey, it doesn't matter. But it's just, like I said, there was just so many things. Yeah, it was just really bad. Like, I would honestly just try to be in a dark room, like especially like when I was really became an adult, because we moved after like a couple months after I graduated high school. And it's like this level of shade they always gave me, because so there was a box sitting in the middle of the floor for months, for like a month. And I just walked past it like every day, just like, okay, it's not my business. I don't need to know. But it's like after seeing that box there for like a month, I finally decided to ask, why is that box just sitting there? And then my stepmom's like, oh, we're moving. It's like they never had the just human decency to like treat me like a person, to even just tell me basic things like that. It's like, why do you have to play games with me? Why can't you just tell me that? When you decided that, not just put a fucking box there and wait for me to question it. Like, that was disrespectful as hell. But they could be as disrespectful to me as they wanted to be. But me, Jesus Christ, if I did an inkling of anything close to what they did to me, oh, how dare you? You know how it is. But yeah, it was funny though, because after we moved, we got at least couple more rooms, really. Like we got more. There was kind of 2 living rooms and a full dining room, and yeah, it was the same thing. Whenever I'd be in some room, just sitting there minding my business. Why are you in this room? Why are you in here? Or, I don't know, like there was times I would like, there was a lot of the games were set up in the basement of the new house, and sometimes I would fall asleep down there because it was comfortable. It was like constantly, I would wake myself up to whenever she would come downstairs to go to work, just so she wouldn't yell at me of like, why are you down here sleeping? Like, why are you just down here? But like if I was like actively up and like on the game or something, she didn't say anything. But it was just like a problem just existing in my house. Like I really trained myself to learn her footsteps, to know what was going on, to know if I was getting yelled at. And it never got better. It just kept getting worse. It's like I had no autonomy living there from my stepsister or her, my stepmom. And they would just come in my room whenever the fuck they wanted, just ransack my room, steal, because that's theft. That is theft. Especially as an adult that I paid money for, or it's like they would never ask me for it. They would never tell me they fucking took my shit. Like the one time my stepmom sold me an iPad. And I was really excited about that because at that point, like, it was like a common thing in the art community that, like, you could draw on the iPad with the iPad pencil. So I was really excited to get one. All I had to do was get a pencil for it. And granted, like, I didn't touch it for like months because I was busy with work, and it takes me a while to get started on some things sometimes. But when I was ready to get started on it, like really break it out to like work on some things, I couldn't find it. Now, granted, my room was a wreck. Granted, organization and cleaning is still difficult for me now. But back then, it's sad because I did try, I did want to, but I realized, even if it was just subconsciously, that it was in my best interest to keep it as just so cluttered and so just dirty, really. I mean, not dirty, like I didn't keep food in there or anything like that, but just have piles of shit. Like, nothing organized whatsoever. I realized that was in my best interest because of how much they just come in my room, like, and just take my shit whenever the fuck they felt like. So if my room was really nice, pretty clean, and organized, it'd be a lot easier for them to just take my shit. Nah. And it's like, so I learned to it became organized chaos to me, because I could tell, even though it's messy, if someone was in my shit, and they would still be in my shit. But yeah, but I thought I just couldn't find an iPad, and I misplaced it. So I mean, like, for 6 months I was in there looking for that iPad, and I couldn't find it. So I decided to ask her one day, hey, do you know what happened to it? And she looks at me and is like, oh, I sold it. Yeah, like, that's the type of stuff that, like, everyone was just okay with. Like, who the fuck cares about you? You wanted that too fucking bad, bro. You weren't doing anything with it, and I wanted money. Oh boy. The only thing I could say about that was, thankfully, she gave me my money back for it. But it's like, I bought that from you for a fucking reason, man. Like, and that was just so disrespectful. The fact you didn't even tell me you're doing that, and just, yeah. It's like, after a while, I got really tired of them doing that, especially as an adult. Like, oh my gosh, like it. So I asked my dad to install a lock on my door, and it was funny because he, like, swore up and down and made sure, like, to say, like, okay, I want, a lock with a key. With a key. And see, this is the funny part. I guarantee he was in cahoots with her, and he was just playing dumb all the time, because he swore up and down, like, yes, I know it's gonna have a key. I'm gonna get one with a key, because I wanted to make sure it had a key, so I can make sure people couldn't get in. He installs a doorknob on my door with no key. And thought I'd just be okay with that. And got mad at me when I asked him, no, get another one with a key like you said you would. Like, oh boy. But I'm just grateful I did that in that last year of me living there, because that last year, it got so bad. And I'm just grateful to God, because I'm not one to lock my door when I'm there. I, generally speaking, just don't really find the reason to. Like, half the time I keep my door cracked, at least. But it just felt so hostile there. Most of the time I would leave my door, like, closed, because, like, it was, like, seriously, it was something. If I didn't acknowledge my stepmom when she came in the house, or like when I was in her presence. It was a problem. It was a serious problem, and I'm the worst person in the world for not acknowledging her presence. But the funny part was, when I would acknowledge her presence and like want to talk to her, to be honest, like, it was a problem. And she's like, get out. Like, leave me alone. Stop talking to me. Okay. So yeah, and like there was like I could just hear and feel the hostility whenever she would come upstairs and pass my door, because my door was right by the stairs, so I could feel it. And there was times when God legit told me, lock your door. And I thank God that I listened to him. I listened to that. Because there was one time I specifically remember I decided to go upstairs. Clearly felt the hostility, but that's nothing new. It's normally an everyday occurrence. But God told me, lock your door. Within 5 to 10 minutes, she's coming upstairs really aggressively, like normal, and she's jiggling my door. And I mean, like, ready to come in. And the scariest part of that was, once she realized my door was locked, she didn't say a word. She didn't knock. She just walked away. I don't know what she was trying to do, but Jesus Christ, that was scary as hell. It was just like so much mental torment. And not only that, like just the verbal amount too, like calling me retarded. Oh, geez, sorry if that's a bad word to say on YouTube, but like calling me that, like just calling me stupid, dumb, like what the fuck, like what do you do? Why would you do that? It was like not. And that, like the worst part, like, and then like, you know, randomly she would try to be nice and be my friend. And it really hurts, honestly. I mean, at the end of the day, whatever. I don't care. But it's just the fact that, like, I really cared about her. Despite everything, I really cared about her. All I wanted to do was show her, her family, everyone, that I meant no harm. That all I wanted to do was help and care. And which is why in some aspects I was fine with being the help. Because I cared. But it never fucking mattered, yo. Yeah, no. That's why it's like, man, that's really like there was one time within that last year, 2022, that I confided in her and told her, like, I'm scared that she's gonna like tell me like I need to move out or something, because like at that point I had no savings really. My credit was averaging 500. All I had was a car at that point even. So I don't know, I was really like afraid that she would tell me that. And she says like so sweetly, like, no, I would never like tell you like you need to move out or anything. And that was very reassuring, to be honest. And truly, out of confidentiality, like, because she told me, you know, don't discuss the things we talked about that day, but I really mean it when I said that day we talked the most we've ever talked before, like, deeply. And I respect that, and that was amazing. That was amazing, and I mean that. But the next day, I, you know, do something she didn't like, and not, I don't remember what it was, but it easily could have been something as simple as just existing in her presence. Because, like, I would always try to do the dishes because, like I said, I had to be the help. Make sure everything was clean, even though I didn't contribute to making any mess in the house. So I was probably doing that, and she got irritated that I was there in the kitchen when she wanted to cook, as usual. Jesus. And she got mad, of course, and she's like, you know what? Maybe it's time for you to move out. The very next day. Oh, man, it's so funny. Because, like, of course she didn't really mean that. She just said that to get into my head, to make me more subservient to her, you know, keep me in line. Oh boy, it is. And it was just really funny because around that time I realized that I could lick her ass from front to back, and she would still say I did it wrong. It's like I finally realized there ain't shit I can do for her to ever look at me like a person. For her to ever treat me with any type of respect. And it was a catch-22, I suppose, that my dad was a pushover. I would say that. More so, he hated confrontation of any sort. He didn't want to get involved with anything, which is why he was working 2 jobs when he didn't need to with his experience. But he just wanted to get out the house, never be in the house. When he was off on the weekends, he would just go golfing, stay at church. He would just never wanted to be home to deal with it, and just leave me in the lion's den to deal with it by myself, you know. But hey,